According to Israeli intelligence, Iran may be gearing up for a major attack on Israel, potentially launching it from Iraq within the next few days. In fact, as per a news report by Axios, 2 Israeli sources told the website that this Iranian attack could even take place before the upcoming US presidential election, raising the stakes and intensifying the tensions in West Asia. As per the Axios report, Iran could leverage pro-Iranian militia groups in Iraq to carry out the attack, possibly aiming to dodge direct attribution and, in a way, lessen the risk of a direct Israeli counterstrike against strategic targets on Iranian soil. Now, if this is true, could it still give Tehran a way to strike without fully exposing itself to retaliation? Reportedly, the attack might involve a combination of drones and ballistic missiles launched from Iraq. According to Axios, US officials remain uncertain about whether Iran has made a final decision to proceed with the attack, underscoring the unpredictability of the situation. As per reports, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps commander Hossein Salami on Thursday said that Israel made a mistake when it attacked Iran last week, adding that Iran's response will catch Israel off guard, as it will be different from any other before. A similar message was conveyed reportedly by an anonymous high-ranking Iranian official who reportedly, in an interview with CNN, called Iran's upcoming response, quote-unquote, definitive and painful. Just like the Axios report, the unnamed senior Iranian official also told CNN that the attack will likely take place before the US presidential election. That's not even all. Mohammad Mohammadi Golpachegiani, the chief of staff to Iran's supreme leader, issued a warning on live television on Thursday, stating that retaliation against Israel was a certainty and it would be, quote-unquote, strong, leaving Israel with regret. That's the word he used. In fact, earlier this week, Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, Ismail Bagheri, said that Iran will give a decisive response to Israel's recent strike using all the available resources.
It's clear to everyone that Iran will not relinquish its right to respond to the Israeli aggression, which is not only the responsibility of the Iranian government officials, but also a right granted by international law, applicable to any country that has suffered aggression and illegal use of force.
Now, the thing is, this comes just a week after Israel launched multiple airstrikes targeting Iran's military infrastructure and air defense systems. Notably, Israel did not strike any of Iran's nuclear facilities or oil assets. Iran claimed that Israeli airstrikes only caused minimal damage, but vowed revenge. You see, the Israeli airstrikes were a counter-response to a missile attack from Iran, reportedly involving 180 missiles aimed at Israel. And today, by the way, also marks 1 month since that attack. Tehran said that the attack on October 1 was an act of retribution for the killings of senior Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah and Hamas's political head Ismail Haniyeh. Meanwhile, sources told WION that Iran's foreign minister plans to embark on a diplomatic tour of neighboring countries, potentially as soon as next week. Now, this outreach could serve as part of Tehran's broader strategy to strengthen alliances and seek regional support prior to its potential confrontation with Israel. So will Iran hit Israel through Iraqi proxies, or will it refrain? We do not know. The coming hours and days are absolutely crucial, as the potential for confrontation only grows in the already volatile region. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent Anas Malik, who is joining us live on the broadcast from Tehran. Anas, thanks very much for being here. As we just outlined what that report says, that the attack could come ahead of the US election, you're standing there in Tehran. It's been 1 month since that October 1 attack took place. In fact, sources also are telling WION that Iran's foreign minister plans to embark on this diplomatic tour of neighboring countries as soon as next week, perhaps. What more are you picking up at this point?
Well, we're standing at the Inqilab Square, or at the Inqilab Street, as they say, which literally translates into Revolution Street. And what you see is optics behind me. I'll just get aside for the benefit of our viewers. And you see, that is the that is the billboard that has been set up that reads, Agar jang mein khwahid, ma ustad jangim. That translates that if war is imposed on us, then we are masters in fighting. This is what the optics says for Tehran, for the Iranian government at large, Molly. The people, there are mixed emotions, but there seems to be some confusion on the political aspect of it. The Iranian government would want to have a delayed response, but the security side, or the security prism, believes that this is the ideal, most opportune time ahead of the US elections to do a response to Israel. Now, whether or not who gets to succeed, the answer to that will be known in some days, in some hours from now. But one thing, since you mentioned about the Iranian foreign minister embarking, yes, this will be a multi-country tour, as what we have learned credibly from sources within the Iranian government. This can start as soon as Sunday evening or Monday evening, one of the two. And the main idea behind this is to reach out to countries, not just neighbors, but in the wider region, to explain Iran's position on the matter with regards to Iran's response to what Iran says was Israeli act of aggression that took place exactly a week ago. Wally?
Right, Anas, you've been speaking to the locals on the ground. Give us a better sense of what this entire period of tensions has really been like for them. To what extent are the tensions, the hostilities, the war really on top of their mind when you speak to them? And this, of course, is, like we said, at a time when we are looking at that possible attack coming in just days ahead of the US election.
Most concerning bit with regards to a war or a conflict, and in the days ahead of the Iranian response that took place a month ago, was economy. The US dollar rose by about 25% in local Iranian currency. It has now come down to what it used to be post the Iranian response. Economy is the bigger problem here in Tehran. Despite the fact that they have a new government in position, that is the Pezeshkian government, which is in a peculiar state right now. It's in a peculiar position, or rather an awkward position, because if it doesn't respond, then it would be seen as somewhat weak. So the locals, while they would want to back their government, and they are backing their government to whatever proportionate or disproportionate response that has been there, at the same point of time, they're concerned about the economic ramifications in case if there is a protracted conflict that Iran and Israel, or Iran goes into, which would have the impact directly not just on economy, but the situation of jobs. Iran is already under sanctions, and at large, the locals do believe that they will end up feeling the brunt of it. Molly?
Right, we are leaving it there for the moment. Anas getting us those updates from Tehran. Thanks very much for the moment. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.